Yo, what is going on, everybody? This your boy Sean, aka Puff Comics 83, and we are back with another episode of Talking Movies. I'm joined by my favorite co-host, Varangian Vigilante. What is going on, my brother?
Hey. It is Halloween season and I can't wait to talk zombie movies. Zombies of all kind, and this is also why I'm so happy we're starting with Sugar Hill from 1974 because it's a zombie movie that is very much underrated on the one hand, and on the other hand it really deals with like the original zombies, like with the historic, like of course, like there's no historic sources of zombie pandemics, etc., but culturally it deals with the Haitian, with the voodoo zombies, which culturally, of course, you can trace it back to, I think, Angola in Africa. So for me, like when I think zombies, I always think first voodoo zombies, and then like undead that are eating the flesh of humans.
And that's one thing that I do like is that these zombies aren't always about eating flesh and
Yeah,
stuff like that. They're just there for the story of revenge for the main character of Sugar Hill.
yeah, of
And
course, like yeah, like undead slaves that had a very tragic like life, and so in that they are to be summoned for the purpose of revenge.
exactly, and let's be real. The people don't want undead slaves coming back to get revenge for all those years of slavery. So
Yeah.
that could be a movie on its own.
Yeah, and I personally think that especially Baron Samedi is such an underrated figure in horror. You know, you're getting every once in there. I think there was like a fantastic Grimm episode that dealt with Baron Samedi, and you also have like them was sort of like an undead vampire clan in some in like a later introduction to the role-playing game Vampire the Masquerade. But personally, I think that especially voodoo zombies and Baron Samedi should be there should be way more output creatively, because I think that especially with flesh-eating zombies that we have from the Romero reinterpretation, that that all this, like, there are not a lot of more stories to tell with that. But I think that with voodoo zombies, there are so many stories that still can be told.
And there's a lot of stories, that many authors have written. Whether it's African folklore, Haitian folklore, voodoo. There's so many stories out there that have yet to be touched for
Yeah.
cinematic experience.
So it's like a pity that that sadly, like, there is not a lot of creativity in movie making at this point, especially like in the mainstream. So that everything they do is like repurpose something that already exists, instead of really digging into like the stories that have not been told yet.
Yeah, and that's why we're gonna start off the month with Sugar Hill just for that alone.
Yeah,
Not only the Haitian voodoo zombies, but it's Blaxploitation, and me and Vivi love
yeah,
Blaxploitations, and we've already covered the Blackula movies, Blackula and Scream, Blackula Scream, and one tying thing to that is the character of Valentine, played by Richard Lawson, who was in the
yeah,
second Blackula film. And we was
exactly.
talking backstage of how similar this movie and Blackula is when it comes to the investigation of the supernatural. When somebody is stumped with what's going on, and then they start to realize like this could be, either voodoo, zombieism, or vampire, like in Blackula. And the similarities that the two characters, the one Van Helsing and Blackula, and this one go through to try and find out what's going on and dig into that supernatural element is pretty fascinating in how similar they were.
Exactly. This was like the time when there was some supernatural elements mixed into blaxploitation. And when you take Sugar Hill, at its core, like its fundament, is a classic crime blaxploitation story. Like it's a revenge movie, but the revenge is not done by natural, by profane weapons, but by summoning Baron Samedi and bleeding like for revenge. So it's a very interesting reinterpretation of the blaxploitation genre, and with these elements of horror, because I like that Diana, played by Marky Bay, when her when her boyfriend
Langston.
like Langston got murdered, that she the only thing on her mind is revenge, and I think that's also it really it really makes the audience understand, that it was like a very lengthy scene how he got murdered. So and it's and you can like feel like the injustice of it. So it already makes you understand like her motives, but she does not have the means to take revenge on her own. She can't go as like just as a regular woman with no fighting experience, etc., against like a crime syndicate.
And she also goes against her original belief of voodooism,
Yeah,
because she didn't buy into it at first. When she talked to Mama Matrice about it, and now she says, "I need this power to get my
yeah,
revenge."
exactly. And so I absolutely love the introduction like of the horror elements in this movie, because it's understandable that when you can't seek justice by regular means, you go beyond that. And I also really love, and this is also why I've chosen this quote here, is this wonderful interpretation. Like, when Madame Matres is like summoning Baron Samti
Yeah,
to bleed for revenge. First of all, that he's greedy, so you have to give him something. So
yeah,
the ring and things. So, but then I also laughed that the first blade, is like, did we just summon the devil? So it's like, what you gonna take? I'm gonna give you my soul. Like, like I ain't the soul.
revenge.
Isn't it souls I'm interested in? So I also laughed that it like immediately shows that it has nothing to do with Christian mythology, but rather with the voodoo mythology. That
Yeah.
is based from Angola and Haiti later on.
What up, Kenneth?
Hey, Kenneth. So that is immediately like a very good scene that shows the audience. It's like it's nothing satanic. This is like true like cultural like voodoo, um, and let's talk about it immediately. Baron Samedi, portrayed by Tom
Um,
Petro Colley,
awesome.
fantastic portrayal. I also like fantastic makeup. I love the golden teeth in there, and also the scar. Like I said, Baron Samedi, one of the coolest cultural like horror mythological figures, and he's portrayed so fantastically. And I
Awesome.
also I also
Awesome.
think that the actor, Don Pedro, also wrote some of the dialogue for Baron
You
Samedi.
you can tell, like, from the way his portrayal is, he added a lot to it.
Yeah, and personally, I would have loved to have like Baron Samedi like filmography, which is basically different movies, but they all summon him for like a purpose. So, like he would be a
Yeah.
fantastic recurring character, and but luckily we have this movie, Sugar Hill. Is a fantastic horror movie. Not only a fantastic horror movie, but also a really decent blaxploitation
I agree with everything you said.
movie.
The portrayal of Baron Samedi was just amazing. Don Pedro Cole really put his heart into that. So, because
Absolutely.
he was top from the moment he came on the scene and he said that quote, it ain't souls I'm interested
Yeah.
in, you automatically know that this man is beyond what the whole trope of, souls and,
Yeah,
and
he's
Satan
not
and stuff
soul.
like
Yeah.
that. He is beyond that. And I even loved at the end of the movie when he got his trophy.
It ain't soul. It's the hose.
So, instantly you're gravitating to this character and you'd be like, yeah, he's greedy. But he's one dude that knows how to put himself into places and observe everything.
Yeah.
And every character that he portrays in the movie, whether it's a cab driver, a dock worker, a person who's handling like the plants and stuff, like he's listening to every word and he's observing everything, and he's like, oh, you're in for it now. So I just love his performance.
Yeah,
I really
stunning.
wish like they could have gotten more out of him. Like they said, man, you were so good, we need to do a sequel just based around your character.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been so cool. But we're lucky to have this one. And further, I also think that this movie has a very underrated zombie design. I love the zombie design.
The zombie designs in this film, with the eyes standing out the most.
Yeah.
The cobweb.
It's very iconic, very unique.
Every one of them got the slave chain, so you automatically know what the era that they were from. What's up, Gary? Yeah. So right then and there, like, these ain't your normal zombies. These are zombies of the past coming back to haunt the present. And like I said, behind the scenes, like, that could be a movie on its own. Like, using voodoo as the way to bring the slaves back and get revenge on our oppressors. That could have been a whole movie I watched.
Totally. Like I said, there's so much more to tell, like with voodoo zombies. Of course, like, also the term voodoo zombies has been reused in movies that I love. For example, that Zombie 2 by Lucio Fulci, which we're also gonna talk about. That also the German title is Voodoo, die Schreckensinsel der Zombies. So there's also a voodoo topic in there, but it is more of the flesh-eating zombie kind. It's just not like the pure mythos that we are getting like in Sugar Hill.
Yeah. Let's talk about that beatdown that Langston got.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie really introduces the two characters, Sugar Hill and her man Langston, and he runs a very popular nightclub.
Yeah.
And of course, you got people that's wanting to move in and take it over. And Morgan, the lead boss of his gang, wants to buy the club from Langston, and Langston refuses to sell to him. And of course, being black in America, you refuse to sell to a white man. The white man's gonna take it because he's like, that's mine. I'm taking it. And he pretty much sends his goons to kill him. And one thing I didn't understand, like, these guys already told the Langston to try and get the club from him, and he refused. They show up later to beat him up, but they got the same clothes on, but they wearing stocking masks. Like, what the fuck? The clothes give it away that you already been seen by him, so why are you putting the mask on? You might as well just show up without the mask.
Well, there was no budget for additional clothes. You gotta watch this one, Gary. It's a really good one. But the only like downfall, like in the beginning, is the character of Langston is so cool. He's like, and you're just killing him like in the beginning.
Like, we don't even really get enough time with him, but he holds his own, refusing to sell, and he had, like this dude is strong-minded, and he's not gonna let somebody bully him, and then they just beat him down to death. Yeah. And it's like, we could have at least got a couple more scenes with him and Sugar Hill before that.
Because that character is really cool. Like, right in the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, there's somebody I can get behind with like somebody who stands up against the man, and but on the other hand, this plays totally into the like, yeah, I can see why his wife, like his girlfriend, wants to take revenge because he's a good man.
Yeah, he ran the club
Yeah,
respectfully, and she loved him, and the fact that she was taken from him,
yeah,
that was her future husband.
yeah,
To get that taken away from you, all you're gonna have is just vengeance on him. And she already knew the guys who
yeah.
took him out.
Like you say, they didn't make even like a big secret, but maybe that's also. I think also there's like realistic part that they didn't even bother because, as they mentioned like later, like who will care?
Nobody.
Sadly, like and I think there's also like the topic in the beginning of the movie. Um, so yeah, so I actually think that is maybe not even be a movie mistake that they have like the same clothes. I think it's like they just give a fuck.
Yeah, that it just seemed weird that they would put mask on, but I was like,
Yeah.
but yeah, nobody will care.
So like it's
And
basically the bare minimum to put a mask on, I guess.
yeah, we gotta
So
put these stocking masks on.
exactly stocking masks. So at least the police or something have an excuse to say, hey, we have no idea something.
And they just move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, everything gets set into motion, and the revenge plot becomes the
Yeah.
main focus. I love when she's looking for Mama Matrice,
Yeah.
and Mama Matrice is played by Zara Cully, the mother of George Jefferson from the Jefferson Show. I always remember her from that show, and when I saw her
And
in this film, I was like, oh, she's perfect as cast because number one, she's this older person who looks like a
100
definition of a witch.
Yeah, and she really looked like she was over 100.
Yeah, she's like the definition of of a voodoo witches.
Yeah.
So she was perfect for the role, and I love like she's looking for Mama Matrice, and you have this spooky old house that she's staying in. It is like, man, nobody ever dusted in here, nobody cleaned up, like nobody cares, because that's her place, and you trespass, you could be in trouble. And I like the fact that she knows that she's older, way older than she should be, and she doesn't have the strength no more to really conjure up the powers and stuff. But Sugar Hill is determined. She is determined for revenge, and she is determined for Mama Matrice to help her in her quest. So Mama Matrice sees this, and I always thought that this is almost like a passing of the torch. Especially when we get to the end of the movie. Like, I feel like Sugar Hill becomes the new Mama Matrice.
I can also totally see that, especially once you're tangling with supernatural powers, like I say, like he's a greedy god. Like you always leave something behind, but it's gonna be replaced by something else. So I can totally see that, and would have been great to really have gotten like another follow-up story.
Yeah, so she Mama Matrice finally decides to help her, and she formed the summon to bring in Baron Samedi. And what a glorious introduction of Baron Samedi.
Hell yeah,
glorious.
And also like this set, like the swarms, and like mixed with his swagger, this is so aesthetically pleasing.
Oh yeah, I love the settings in the swamps. It definitely like in like a New Orleans setting, and it really fit the atmosphere of the jungle.
Yeah,
and the slaves coming out of the ground. That's another fantastic scene.
Also so well shot. Yeah,
and Baron Samedi, like you said earlier, he's a greedy god.
Yeah.
You have to offer him something.
Yeah.
And when she offered her soul, he was like, nah, I ain't interested in no souls. But she was interested in the revenge. And when he saw that, he like, well, I'll help you there.
Yeah.
And I'll raise the army of the dead. and that's where you get the rising of the voodoo zombies. Glorious scene.
Absolutely glorious.
And this is where the revenge plot starts.
Yeah,
Right?
and this is also what I love about this movie. It doesn't linger. Like
Yes.
it's really fast paced but not too fast paced to lose orientation. It's really like, yeah, this is so rewatchable, and but still cohesive to a point, so you can follow everything, and it's so enjoying.
Now I want to say the first kill was at the docks. If I'm
The
not
dogs,
mistaken.
yeah, what was the dogs like? Also, I love it in the, when was like in interiors, you had this limp light, and then the zombies. Can you and of course, first you always have from Diana, from Sugar Hill, from Diana, when she gives like a speech to the person,
Yeah.
like why they deserve it, and they don't take her serious until until of course the zombies come, and then it's too late.
But nobody's gonna take her serious if they see her
Yeah.
by herself, because they
Yeah.
ain't expecting zombies to come out there and ambush them.
Nobody expects a voodoo zombie.
And look, I love her transformation. From being like normal Diana
Yeah.
to being Sugar Hill with the afro and the
Yeah.
cat. Like she is gorgeous.
Yeah, you can really see that by having like this power, like to command this army of the undead, that of course you get a little bit more self-esteem when
Yeah.
when you're backed up by a zombie army, and that totally shows with her, like this is a great transformation, and
She is
and-
gorgeous, man.
and yeah,
I wish she would have done more movies, because she would have fit right in with all the Blaxploitation
Yeah.
queens of that era.
but yeah, the zombies nicely mutilate the first the first
And
first murderer.
I'll say this here, like for any new body who wants to see this movie for the first time, it's not a gory movie.
Yeah,
Like the kills are kind of tame and stuff. It's more of an atmospheric horror movie.
exactly.
And
You
it's
get
not
glimpses. Yeah, so you get some glimpses, for example, when they do the autopsy on the first guy. When the
Yeah.
police to the crime scene. But yeah, it's like I said, it's more atmospheric, and I love gore here and there, but I always take atmosphere over gore.
Yeah, especially when the story is good and it's moving at a nice pace.
Yeah, and
But-
I also had to think about a franchise that came out later. When they made the autopsy, they found like mold and dead meat on there. It's like, well, I know a specialist to know about mold and fungi, and like,
Yeah.
should have asked Dr. Spangler.
Yeah. Spores, molds, and fungus.
Yeah.
But before Tank got killed, it was very interesting to have at the dock where the workers had to pay for their jobs, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. There was actually one part where it was like, I have to ask you. It's like, is this normal to you?
Now, I never I remember when I first watched this movie, I'm like, really? Who pays for work? Like, work's supposed to be paying me. And when you really think about the whole slavery thing, like, that's it, man. It just ties into everything. Like, even work today feels like it's slavery.
Maybe I thought like you have to pay up front to be like in a union, so you
Yeah.
to get the job. Like that's what I thought maybe. But yeah, it's like how did they say, like it's slavery with extra steps.
And I was like, hell nah, man. That dude got punched because he said no.
Yeah.
And then he ended up paying for it. I'm like, bro, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, but already in the background you see like this mysterious worker that has the same scar as Baron Santi.
One of my favorites though is when he lead one of the guys into the forest.
The captain, he was the cab driver. Oh,
I love that because he plays it up. He plays it up so well, like he's dumb and like, yes sir, master. I will
Yeah.
take you to. The boss wants to see you, master. He plays it up so well.
That one was it's so pretty. Like you say, like there must maybe Don Pedro was into like the whole mythology, but you can really see this is the character that he wanted to play.
Yeah, like he really like put his all in this.
We are like 25 minutes into the stream. Gary B already looks up nude pictures of the
See, Gary V is smart. He's doing his research.
Yeah, we should have like Gary on the show. You know, like Joe Rogan has like the guys that research everything for him. The Google is like when we look up about an actor, Gary, look up if you find nude pictures.
But hey, that shows you the power of Sugar Hill, man. You start looking up the pictures of it.
It's Gary. That's being a different kind of zombie. Like this is the kind of zombie, you know, when there is more blood in the lower body than upstairs.
But yeah, like that whole scene where he leads them out there is my favorite. And then when he gets there and he gets set up, I love it because this is what led to the whole throwing into the pig pen.
Yeah, this is like
and when he gets tossed in, Sugar Hill has to quote, "I hope they like white trash."
Yeah. I also like I told you. True. Like I told you in the pre-show, is, you know, when I see the movies, being fed to pigs must be one of the worst fates you can suffer. You know, I've like in Deadwood, the corpses always got served to the pigs. Then of course we got some teaser in Mad Max,
Yeah.
the Thunderdome. Like nah, nobody. Like because those creatures eat everything.
Yeah, they don't care.
And nobody wants to be devoured alive with pigs.
Like that's why I said America got a fascination with pigs because of, you know, they put bacon on everything. God,
yeah.
You know, like it's like they want us to eat all this bacon and all the pork and stuff. But then when you get tossed in, you're like, oh, you like to eat us? Well, we gonna feast on you.
Yeah. So yeah, like with that pork there, you get second-hand mobsters. Like.
Yeah, man. And you know, I love that she's playing this character of Sugar Hill, but she also has time for her to be Diana. And she's doing her photo shoots and stuff. And this is where we didn't get into the character of Valentine, played
except
by
the subplot, the little subplot.
Richard Lawson.
Because when you have like a lot of mysterious dead criminals, of course you also have the police investigating, and Valentine.
It has to be a police officer that she had a past with.
Yes, of course.
And look, Richard Lawson is awesome in the movies. You know, he was awesome in Scream, Blackula Scream. He's awesome in this.
He's awesome here,
and a couple of other films. But I like how he plays it here. You know, he's like the Van Helsing for the voodoo zombies.
Exactly, and I also really like you know, it's a little part of the plot because it's very fast paced. But I really like, you know, every here and there where we see his investigation.
And he knows like he can't go to his boss with this info. Yeah. They'll laugh him out just like the previous ones.
So he goes to voodoo specialists and researchers, and then also finds out like the regional expert is Mama Maitresse.
Yeah, and he really like he has that connection with Diane, but he also has his suspicions, you know, because of his investigation.
Yeah.
And everything is starting to be tied to Langston because he got killed by the mobsters, and now they're dying one by one.
Under mysterious circumstances, being covered by molds and dead flesh. So it's like
and slave chains.
It's a tough one for a rational thinking detective.
But yeah, he really like dives deep into his investigation, and of course he's so charismatic. Like you definitely agree with Sugar Hill. Like nah, nothing should happen to him
Yeah,
because it's like
yeah.
he's too great of a character.
Yeah, that was like, and also like when Baron Sanders, it would be way easier to kill him.
Yeah, he's moving in too close to our territory. We need to take him out.
Yeah.
But you know, they use the old reliable voodoo doll.
Exactly.
Take him out all the time.
And I also love how suspicious he is about that when he talks to Diana. You know, it's like nobody knows how this happened.
I like when he was being led to Mama Maltrees, and Mama Maltrees just pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the fact that she appears, she comes and goes when she feels like it.
Exactly.
So, you know, you never know when she's gonna appear. Like she could just appear right in front of you without even you seeing her.
Yeah, and what we already mentioned, you know, like being mauled by zombies and like being fed to pigs. What I really love about like you know, all the revenge scenes is that they get creative with it. It's not just zombies like kill him, etc. It's you know, it really dives deeper into, you know, the possibilities of voodoo. You know.
Can you imagine getting a massage by dead zombie? Why are your hands so cold?
Well, let's just say like the massage he got had an ending. It was not happy.
They choked his ass out. I thought he had the funniest death out of all of them, you know, like because and he was another thing. This movie does definitely have racism. You're gonna hear the N word, and the thing with that character, I think his, I forgot what his name was, but he's like the only black guy of the crew.
Yeah,
you know, most of them are white guy. He's the token black guy that's there, and it's like you look at him as Uncle Tom. You know, he's kind of being demeaned by his own boss. You know that, like, how can you keep tolerating that?
But what is very interesting, what I noticed is, you know, when they throw the N-word around, they say it a little bit different when they're talking to him.
Yeah.
So that's like interesting.
Cold words.
Yeah, with the subtleties of it.
Like, yeah, they being racist, but at the same time, you know, they're being very subtle about it. But Beatrice is 100%. She don't like none of them.
Yeah.
And that's why she suffered the fate she suffered at the end of the film.
Yeah, Celeste. She was like, she went the extra mile in being racist, which made her fate way more interesting.
She had a little cat fight with Sugar Hill.
Yeah,
and Diane wasn't having it, man. She whooped her ass.
Yeah, like, but also like when the cat fight, shout out to the guy behind the bar who had the most chill demeanor like ever being a witness to a cat fight, and also like basically giving like the ice to cool it down.
He sat there and just enjoyed it. He was like, all right, I got front row tickets to this fight. But yeah, Celestial was full on racist, whereas Morgan tried to like be subtle about it. Like he ain't like him, but he's being more subtle.
Yeah, and the business guy, like he's
he's still trying to negotiate the club away from Sugar Hill, because now the ownership fell in her hands, and he still wants to own the club. So he's trying to negotiate with her, and you know he sees her as everybody sees Diana as hot, sexy, gorgeous. So he's trying to play that game with her, and she ain't happy. She's like stringing him along just for it to fall into her hands, so she can set all of them up.
Let's just say from the bad guys, nobody of them win any humanitarian like what?
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
They're bad guys for a reason.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is also, you know, when you say like, oh, blah 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 about these words, etc. Well, they're the bad guys. You're supposed to not like them.
Bad guys should not be sympathetic.
Exactly.
You know, too many times where they try and make bad guys sympathetic and make me care about them. I'm like, nah, I just want you to be an evil piece of shit so you can die in the worst way.
Exactly. And this is like, yeah, also where you already mentioned on the pre-show that some people criticize this movie that there's not enough tension, so that Diane doesn't really face uh, any danger because of course she uses supernatural means. But this movie doesn't need the tension because it does such a fantastic job in building up the villains as really disgusting murderers and criminals. So basically, you're really rooting for her revenge, and so I don't think that it needs the tension there.
Yeah, and every kill really comes off well shot and well done.
And creative, like the kills are creative. They're also like very important for a horror movie. Nothing is worse than a horror movie where every kill is totally repetitive. So this one does really fantastic job. I like also like the with voodoo dolls, and also when the one guy, she is like, well, you're gonna kill yourself, and she
basically, that was glorious. I loved that scene because it definitely has that voodoo ritual spell. With Baron Samedi there, and him saying, "I'm not gonna do it," but yet he can't fight the power of the voodoo forcing him to kill himself. That was fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah. So this movie really gets creative there, but also like true to the mythology.
Oh yeah, the movie don't waste.
The movie is no time. It's fantastic.
Oh, you won't. Gary B's watching us while we talking.
Like if you fast forward, we can do like a live commentary.
Yeah, but that scene right there, I wish it was on YouTube so I could have downloaded it and posted it myself, because that scene really like highlights the true horror of voodooism. The voodoo dolls and the zombies are there, but nothing more like ritual spells.
Exactly, really, take
control of you.
Yeah, take control of you. Yeah, that's so good, and it's really pity that this topic is not used more in horror. You get the bits and pieces every there, but at least from what I've seen out there, there's not enough voodoo movies.
Especially like the part where the chicken leg attacks him.
Yeah, which is interesting because even fucking Disney has like a voodoo movie.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think Princess and the Frog had a character based on Baron Samedi.
Baron Samedi, yeah, the character is based on Baron Samedi, yeah.
So
it's also one of the best Disney movies.
But like the way they uses voodoo in this film, like the chicken foot coming up and crawling up the guy, I'm like, oh my god!
I really like that scene.
Like there's just no ends on what can be used with the power of voodoo against somebody. Exactly. And that's what really like makes the movie so good to watch. It's like it's not so much of a horror movie that just relies on blood and gore. It's a horror movie that relies on psychological effects, atmospheric tension, and just the threat of the supernatural, the zombies, voodooism. Because like I said, you could take you could take the zombies out and just have the voodoo spells in.
Yeah.
And that could have been messed up.
And you could even take that out and you just have a crime revenge movie.
But I feel like the voodooism really like they could have had that in there without the zombies, and it still would have been more of a tense situation because of what you're dealing with. The elements of supernatural and voodooism. The whole ritual at the beginning, even though it was for show, it really felt that is accurate portrayal of what people do in tribalism.
Yes, absolutely stunning, and like I said, like the voodoo aspect totally elevates this movie.
It really does, and Sugar Hill and her crew continues to take them all out. That to me was like the masseuse part was the was funny, but that to me was one of the best kills in the film.
Yeah. And the great thing about it is, when you just look at the plot foundation, it's not a deep plot. It's just a classic revenge story. That in every revenge story, of course, like something happens to you, you take revenge. Like there's not really a death in it. However, like the voodoo aspect, let's lays like this layer of mystique and like horror over it. So even though the movie is not deep, it feels it makes it feel deep because the portrayal of voodoo is so genuine.
Yeah, and as the movie goes on, Valentine starts to get more intense with his investigation, and they have to slow him down. So they bring out the voodoo dolls, and while he's going down the stairs, they stab his leg and he falls down the rest of the way. Now you would have thought the end result would have been worse because he only had a broken leg. But I'm like, how far up? How many more stairs was left when he fell? Because you could break a whole lot of bones.
It was a calculated risk.
But yeah, like once they took Valentine out of the equation, they put all their sights on Morgan and Celestial.
Yeah.
And they have the entire scene on YouTube. But I gotta say, it's one of the better scenes, the better finales of a villain getting his common-ups.
Yes, and also like with Celeste, when it's like teaser that the zombies kill her, like in the car, that's a really great scene.
Oh yeah, when they bust through the car window,
yes.
that plexiglass.
That was a really great scene, but then in the end, turns out that they had different things in mind with Celeste, because, like I said, Baron Samedi is not so much interested in souls, but more the flesh that surrounds it.
And I liked it that he said, "I would have rather had you, Sugar Hill."
Yeah, yeah.
That, like after he observed how she was, he's like,
yeah,
she will be a perfect addition to my afterlife. But
do his whole dream.
But yeah, like the whole thing with Morgan, like he really thought he was going to get the club, and she played him all along.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm tired of this bitch. I'm gonna kill her and take her out. And then he gets there, and what the scene that I like when he's going through the house is when he encounters the room, and all of his minions, his thugs was there. They already dead. One of them got his head reattached and stuff, and they all sitting at the table waiting for him.
Yeah, this is one of the.
Hill was standing there.
This is one of the more gory scenes in this movie, but I also love, the scenes that are gory, they are very well placed. So they are way more effective because the other scenes are not gory. So it's, like I said, this movie is very well directed.
And he shoots the zombies. Of course, that has no effect on them. And another thing that's an underrated part of what these zombies are. Like, yeah, they're zombies, but they can wield some weapons.
Yes.
And with zombies don't usually wield weapons, but these zombies are wielding machetes, chains and everything. It's like, man, it's one thing to get aced by a zombie. It's one thing to get aced by a zombie that got a machete in his hand.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, this dude know how to swing. So this really makes the zombies stand out as being different. They're not just your mindless zombies. Like, no, they actually have a rotten mind that works.
Yeah, and I also really like, when you shoot the zombies, that like this, I think it wasn't particularly like this sand and maggots like runs out of them.
Yeah.
So that was also very well done.
And it shows that these zombies has the mind of Baron Samedi.
Yeah.
Because whenever they get shot at or something, they give a little smile. They're like, well, that's gonna do nothing. And it's like, this is part of Baron Samedi and all these zombies.
Absolutely.
So and Baron Samedi, had a great line. He said, "It's a shame that this is our first meeting, and it's gonna be our last meeting as well."
I mean, he kills it with every line. He doesn't have many lines in there, but his lines are like instant, like punchlines.
Yeah, and Morgan, being surrounded by the army of the dead, he thinks he's gonna get away and stuff, but he ends up falling into quicksand.
Yeah, and which we know, quicksand is very dangerous.
and he's asking, pleading for help, and they're just standing there watching him. Like, no help for you, buddy. he goes down to the abyss of quicksand.
Yeah.
And then Baron turned to Sugar Hill. They got Celestial held up, and he's like, "Oh, so that's going to be our arrangement for the deal we made. Even though I'd rather have you, Sugar Hill, because you were fine as hell.
Yeah,
I'll take this compensation." And I love how he walks away with her in his hand.
Yeah.
Laughing manically, like he just got the biggest prize of his lifetime. and this Celestial is straight up racist, and now she's in the hands of Baron. You better learn not to be racist no more.
Yeah. Better learn how to enjoy some undead meat.
And then we get the before that, all that, I like that Baron gave Sugar Hill his cane.
Yeah.
As if to say, now you're queen of the undead.
Yeah.
And this is where I come back to what I said earlier about I feel like she's the new Mama Matrice.
Yeah.
And
oh my god, this could have been like a whole fucking franchise with 10 movies, and it would have been awesome.
And she even tells Mama Matrice that it's over now, and she stands there with holding the cane, and it's like the queen has conquered, and now she's the new queen of the undead.
Yeah.
And that was like a passing of the torch for me, because Mama Matrice was that old woman who done it all, lived a long life, and now the torch has been passed to her.
Yeah.
And she killed it in this entire
film. This movie does it all. It's like very fast paced, it's rewatchable, it tells a whole story and sets up and leaves enough stuff in there for possible future movies that we said we didn't get, but you don't feel like you're missing out on anything because this movie has such a fantastic beginning, middle, and end.
And the movie closes with a banger of a theme, Supernatural Voodoo Woman.
Yeah, like this also it begins with this song and it ends with that song. At least the edition that I bought.
But this movie is just great, especially for its time. Blaxploitation horror. Back when everybody in the Blaxploitation genre was kind of copying other genres. We like Blackula was straight from Dracula. Blackenstein. You had Abby, which was Exorcist. But I think Sugar Hill stands out as its own twist on the zombie genre.
For next year, possibly we have to talk. What is the movie called? I forgot the name. It's if it's the one with Rudy,
Which Rudy is
Dolomite.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Pete Weestraw.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because that's also like a horror movie. So.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We'll make sure we have Paolo on again for that. So.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we should just because I do want to talk Disco Godfather as well.
Well, that can be Lopez. Luckily, we have many Fridays in a year.
Yes. But yeah, Pete Weestraw is definitely gonna be one to be talked about.
Yeah.
But Sugar Hill is fantastic. I'm glad we got Gary B in here watching. Yeah. But yeah, this movie is great. It's a shame that we don't have enough Marky Bay, because she was fantastic in this film, and she definitely had a presence. She could have been one of those Blaxploitation queens that had an establishment and stand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But unfortunately, she only has this and a few other things, and that's it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like. I haven't read up, but maybe it was her own choice. Would suck if it was not her own choice, because you can clearly see that she would have like a lot more to give for film history.
Yeah. And of course, the great Don Pedro Coley as Baron Sam.
Yeah.
He is Baron Sammy to me.
Absolutely. I think he also looked at his.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of movies.
Exactly, and that was like in another horror movie that I have not seen, in Dead End from 2016, which was 1 year before he passed away. He played a character called Sam. So I wonder if this was like a homage to his Baron Samedi character. But I have not seen the movie. Maybe I should watch it. Like the reviews are mediocre.
What is this? Yeah, the camera angles in the film is top notch. I love the way they focus on the zombies. Like whenever they appear, like they come out of nowhere and the camera just focuses on them. I like that shot.
Yeah, exactly, because that really gives you like the impression of you can't escape. Like it's like the narrow space and you're fucked.
You're screwed. But yeah, this movie is really good. I recommend it to anybody that wants to see a different side of what's up, Daryl? From his Simply Incredible Disc Golf page.
Wow.
Thanks for joining, stopping by. We're near the end of our stream, but you'll catch the rewind.
Yeah.
We talked the underrated film that if you have not seen it, definitely check it out.
D is the Happy Gilmore of disc golf. Like.
Yep, simple and effective.
Yeah, and the eyes. I love this with the eyes. Like this is a fantastic idea that really makes the zombies look very unique.
Yeah. But yeah, Sugar Hill, 1974.
And yeah,
great film.
But we're not done with zombies this month.
Yeah, this was a great way to kick off this month because we will be next week. We're gonna dive into Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, fucking cuts of it.
Oh man, I'm already like trying to plan out on how I'm gonna watch these films because of time constraints and stuff. But I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, me too. I already see myself having some pizza order days.
But yeah, the Romero cut, the Argentino cut. And
cut, yeah, and the final cut, but like the extended cut.
Yeah, the extended cut.
Yeah, but
yes, old school Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, old school. But you don't have to watch the trim final cut. It just adds all the scenes in the which was the cut that I grew up with. Which was actually, I originally thought this movie is way too long and boring because it was like all the fucking cuts. It was like 154 minutes or something.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best. But main thing is to watch the Romero and the Argentina cut.
Argento.
Yeah, Argento cut.
Yeah, that's like I think the best comparisons.
Yeah,
because both didn't really see eye to eye.
No. And it's going to be interesting to compare the music in the films because I know some people like the music in the Argento cut, and then some people prefer the music from the Romero cut. So
well, you know me, I'm a Goblin guy. I love my Goblin soundtrack.
Yeah.
Claudio Simonetti, one of the most awesome like I wouldn't say like just like film music companies because of course the band Goblin also did a progressive rock albums. So yeah, that's gonna be very interesting. But it's not it for this weekend because I heard there's an open mic night somewhere.
Yes, tomorrow night, the return of the Comic Call crew. We will have an open mic night. Anybody's welcome to join if they want. But it's always fun whenever we do these open
Yeah.
mics.
I wish, but this weekend I really can't stay up till late again.
You can't stay up any more later than you usually do.
Yeah, like
Hey, you did it for me last week on the Gary B show. It was a fantastic show.
Yeah,
You know,
and like
being a part of that was great.
And now that you're also like that you're also 40 like me, it wasn't always like now it's like you pay dearly for staying up till late for 3 days at least.
Sometimes you know my weekends I do nothing but sleep.
Oh yeah.
You'll make a real cameo?
Ooh. You're always welcome.
Hey, if you want to join us for next week, man, just let me know. You're always welcome, Daryl. But yeah, do you got any new books to show? Because I know
actually not. I should get my comic book delivery either next week or the week after. Because I'm still waiting. I think today they got the last comics from this week, so since it's 1 month past, I should get my invoice on the weekend, and then hopefully they send it Monday to me. But yeah, otherwise I'm mostly buying wrestling figures right now and music tapes.
Awesome, man. You're always welcome to share comics as well.
Yeah.
You know,
but luckily I have most of the Bronze Age books that I want. I know I'm still like buying like the Savage Sword of Conan when I find them. But otherwise, I'm also cutting down on my pull list.
Same.
It's just, I just read like this. I finally read like issue number 2 of Red Sonja, and it was, like mixed. There was like good parts in it, but also there was some dialogue in it. It was so stupid. Where Red Sonja calls like a bad guy like a creep. It's like nobody called somebody a creep. Like
even that was odd for me.
Yeah, there's so many things you can write in there. You should just write you man pig, like something like that is more
something that fits the era.
Yeah, like
it. I will say that issue 2 was okay for me.
Yeah, even if for me it was mixed. Yeah, it was. The thing was like the story is decent by itself, but there were just some dialogue in there that totally failed to get any immersion for me, because it was so modern written, and it didn't fit like it was a dialogue from the Hyborian age. In general, I know a lot of people love the new Conan run by Jim Sapp on Titan Comics.
I still enjoy it.
I mean, it's enjoyable, but the second issue was also like, where's this leading to?
Like I said, that's today's writing.
Yeah, so I really have to wait until more issues. But so far, none of these books, even though they're decent reads, they're not like, if I wouldn't get them, I wouldn't miss them.
And that's the problem I'm starting to have. It's like, how many more times can I give them before I just say, I'm not gonna buy these books no more. And I'll just stick to reading, because there's still plenty of Conan books from the past I have.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm just going back into the Dark Horse Conan stuff to get all that. So.
And there's so many, not even the comics. There's so many fantastic classic fantasy and so on story tales out there that are not written by Robert E. Howard. It's just. Like I said, I am one bad run away from quitting modern comics.
Yeah. But that'll be it for us. Join us next week for our Dawn of the Dead talk. We're gonna have a great time with that. And I want to say that have a great weekend, y'all. Thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat, from Simply Incredible Disc Golf to Gary B, who is currently watching the movie Sugar Hill,
and nude pictures of the main actress.
and Kenneth Bird, who started off the show, man. So
Yeah.
thanks for
Also
joining.
regular, so thanks to everybody, and I'm looking forward to next week, and also looking forward to watch the comic whole crew on the Rewind. So
Thanks for the new addiction. Yes. Yes.
you're welcome, Gary.
So y'all have a great weekend, y'all. Be safe. And I'm gonna hang out on Sunday with Old Man Spider because there's a show.
Oh.
So I'll be there hanging out with him. But have a great weekend, y'all.
Bye bye.